just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I'm here with my co-host from Tucson, Patricia Kirkman, PK. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing so well. I even have a little pink on the end of my nose from being outside today.
Oh, boy.
Woo-hoo. Way to go.
That is nice. That is nice. Nice and warm. And you know what? It was in the 50s today here in Massachusetts. I think we're almost done with winter. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. No more plowing. You know, we didn't get that much snow, but what we got was annoying. And it was also kind of icy. But now, hey, everything's melting and it's almost time to sit in the sun. So happy days are here again.
That's for sure. It seems
me.
like it's been a long winter, doesn't it?
Really, I have to say it doesn't. When it starts dragging on, which it has done in years past, goes into February, goes into March, goes into April, then it's dragging on. But now it's not too bad. So I'm very happy that it's sunny, it's warm. Tomorrow's going to be in the 60s. It's all good.
Fabulous.
Yay.
Fabulous.
So we need to know what you know about the numbers. What is going on today and tomorrow for us?
Well, everybody that I've talked to today has been going through the same thing. Difficulty sleeping last night. There's a lot going on in everybody's mind in this tossing and turning because we've got a lot of things happening as far as communication goes. But the 7-day that we're in today has kept everybody on the edge of their seats, not knowing what's popping up next. Lack of sleep makes us all walking around like we're in a somewhat of a daze or a sleepwalk, and it hasn't worked so well. But tomorrow's going to be a different story. There's going to be more constructive work done, a lot of sharing of ideas and powers. But the thing is, people need to remember more than anything else with what's going on. This month deals with communications of all forms and creativity of all types. And if you really want to follow the daily thing, jump onto my Facebook page, patriciakirkman.com, and you can read it every day. But this way, we can talk about what the month holds for you and give you more of an impact of what you can read and what you can see, because it doesn't have to be the same. It is different because we are all different. Our names make us different, and how we handle what's going on is going to be different.
That's for sure. And
How about that?
That's true. It's true. We're all unique. And you are going to be offering classes again.
Yes, I am, starting in the middle of March.
So that's great. So if anybody's out in Tucson and you want to learn about numerology, then just message PK, let her know you're interested in becoming one of her students. And let's see, I got to tell you, we have a great guest tonight who we love. We love this
yes,
guy.
we do. He is
Edd
special.
Edwards. And we're so lucky to have him with us. And he's going to be doing 2 energy treatments for sessions of energy treatments for our whole audience tonight. So everybody's going to just love it. And we enjoy Edd so much. He's got a wonderful way about him. And we're going to bring him on in just a few minutes. Now, coming up, I got to tell you, we've got, again, wonderful guests next week. We have John D'Souza, who is a former FBI agent who just wrote a book about extra dimensionals. Can you believe it? So we're going to grill him about what he knows. We're going to try to extract information from John next week. The week after, we have Del Bigtree, who is one of the producers from the movie Vaxxed, which is about vaccinations. And I'll tell you what, I saw that movie the other night, and it was heart-wrenching. Heart-wrenching. You guys, if you have not seen that movie, go to vaxxedthemovie.com, pay $4, and you get to see it. But it is an amazing movie. You need to be in the know, and that is why we're bringing Del on the show in 2 weeks. So don't miss it, but definitely watch that movie, especially if you're a parent. This is very important information. We're going to talk to Ed about vaccinations too when we bring him on. And also be sure to visit our advertisers. We have Ezra from thehighend.org for people who want to know how to use medical marijuana. Also, Ezra has some of the purest CBD oil, which is legal in all 50 states, made from hemp, and it works extremely well. So that's another product you can talk to Ezra about. He's available. Give him a call. He's on our website, supernaturalgirls.com. And we also have creativestrength.us is offering a scalar treatment for free. 15 days of free treatment, no strings attached. They don't want your credit card number. They just want you to sign up and have a free scalar treatment. And that's, again, creativestrength.us, also on our website. And, my God, paranormal news. Go to our Facebook page. We've got some great paranormal news on Supernatural Girls' Facebook page today. And please give us a like. Please follow us. It really does my heart good when I see those numbers going up, that people are that interested in what we're doing. And they are, I know, because we have a huge audience. But we want you to be a part of our Facebook community too. So please give us a like, follow us on Facebook, and you can go there and see the story in the video that PK and I are about to tell you about. It is wild, is it not, PK?
I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, this is really like a Flash Gordon of years ago, all these different things popping in from God knows where. It's fascinating.
The video is saying, and there's a few of them out there, but this one in particular shows some cool stuff, so I thought we'd share it with you all. The Vatican has a time machine, according to some people. And, of course, they're not sharing it with the rest of us. But there is one of the priests, or what, I know you know this stuff better than I do, whatever their title is, but he has a photograph, which he claims to be from the time of Christ.
That was very unnerving to be able to see the things that they showed on it. And they were talking about that, the different aspects of visions, even to talking about Napoleon.
Yes, that there were two of him. I mean, it's so wild. Now, I think the Vatican has been hiding a tremendous amount of things, not just this. This doesn't surprise me that they have a time machine. But again, it's who gives them the right to have and collect all these things? Who?
They're closer to God. Just ask them.
I want to talk to that person or entity. It's just not fair. Why should they get all of these sacred books that they've hidden away, a time machine that they've hidden away? I think it's time. It's time for them to put their wall down, huh?
Well, when we have things available for people to learn from that are tools to teach, why does those that have it have to hoard them? What
they make it a big secret.
Yeah.
It's all a secret. They have lots and lots of books that they won't let anybody see. So what's up with that, right?
Well, it isn't just the Catholic Church. It's so many of the different places and spaces. Come on, folks, open up the doors. Let the rest of us in to see what's out there. Make our lives equally as good as they could be. And maybe we'll be able to help even more people that way.
Well, you know what? You're right. That's the goal. And with disclosure is not just about UFOs. Nope. It's about these things as well. It's about sacred texts that we should have access to. It's about technology we should have access to. This is just one more example of people in power that have a technology that they're not sharing with the rest of the world. So go see the video on our Facebook page. It is really something to see.
It is.
Yeah. So
no more greedy little kids out there. Open the doors. Let us be a part and share it.
That's right. It is time to open those doors and let us see what is in the Vatican. We want to know. It's about time, right?
I think so. So.
So go to the Facebook page, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Melissa is tweeting away all week long, sending out all kinds of really cool stuff. You don't want to miss it, so sign up at Supernatural GLZ. We couldn't spell out girls. They didn't give us enough characters, so GLZ is the last part of it. And we'd love to hear from you. So if you have stories to tell us, please send them along, post them on our Facebook page. And we're also looking for people to have on the show that can tell us about the inside of the Vatican. So if you know somebody, if you know an expert, somebody who wants to come on the show, a whistleblower, somebody who wants to tell us the truth, well, the truth is right here on Supernatural Girls. So be sure to contact us, and we'll see about getting that person right on our show, right?
Yes, I think that's exactly what we need.
I know it. That's what we're good for here. We are telling the truth. And
we're sharing. They should share, right?
That's right. We're sharing.
Okay.
Share with us. So tonight we have Edd Edwards, who we love. And now, Edd, as a young boy, he played with energy between his hands, and he had quite the amount of energy between his hands. And he had a passion for science, physics. And he was searching for a scientific explanation of what he was experiencing when he met in 1994 the physicist, Dr. William Levengood of Grass Lake, Michigan. Now, Dr. Levengood was able to measure and quantify Edd's energy output in his laboratory. So along with his work with Dr. Levengood, Edd took part in laboratory experiments with Dr. John Gadye, Charles Pyler, and through their measurement and assistance, he learned how to increase his energy output, to turn the energy output off completely, to control the switch of the polarity of the energy from positive to negative, and to affect the lab equipment from a great distance. We're talking thousands of miles. So Edd and the scientists designed and carried out countless experiments with Edd's measurable output of energy, continually increasing it with precision. So today, Edd teaches others about this energy work. He travels across the country, and he offers his help to those in need. What a good man. So let's get him on the show. Edd, welcome to Supernatural Girls.
Hey, good to see y'all again.
Oh, it is so good having you with us.
Yes. We're thrilled. We're thrilled to have you here. You said you were a traveling man, traveling hundreds of thousands of miles across the country. And we know you've been helping a lot of people. And I just want everybody to know, if they want to contact you, and they can, through your website, eddedwards.com, and that's EDD, Edwards.com. So if you want to work with Edd on an individual basis, or you want to bring them to your area for a group session, you can do that. Just contact Edd directly. But tonight, we're going to get into it with you, Edd. We're going to find out more about what you've been up to with your experiments and your treatments and all kinds of miraculous things I know have been happening around you. So you wanted to start, though, by offering people an experience of what you do. So did you want to start there?
Sure. It's always better sometimes to do the experience first before we muddy the water up.
You've never muddied them up. You've cleared them up a lot, Edd.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I love getting a hold of skeptics, too. Okay. For the experience, if we could have everybody in your listening audience to stand up for me.
All right, everybody, stand up.
And if y'all would, too, you can give a little feedback so they can hear. Stand up, pull your feet close together. Okay, now I'm going to start activating this energy. I'm resonating a field of energy in my brain. It vibrates at 1.618 hertz, and I have to get right on that. And then once I do, it unlocks the sequences that merges my brain in with the quantum field. And then it kind of ties in with the quantum universe, and I start radiating what Dr. Levengood called soliton waves. And I also produce, when I do a side angle wave, I do what they call scalar waves. Now, this was determined by Dr. Levengood and by Charles Pyler of the FRAD group back in the late 90s. So here we go. I'm resonating the energy up. You're standing there with your feet close together. And by now, You should be noticing something.
Well, I am. How about you, PK?
I'm weaving.
Yeah, I am like moving back and forth. In
Correct.
fact, here we go.
It'll pull you all over the place. Now, I'm not going to tell you which way I'm going. I'm just going to let it go for a few more moments and let it get locked in real good. Now, your fingers should be doing a little something also.
Yeah, there's some tingling in the fingers.
Correct. That
They
should
feel
be going
flat
on.
and heavy.
That'd be with all the audience out there.
They're moving around.
Uh-huh. Okay, now I'm going to set the energy up. I've been just waving it back and forth, so now I'm going to hold it straight DC negative, and this should pull you up on your toes.
Wow. It's definitely pulling.
Feel that now?
Very powerful.
Okay, now I'm letting off of it. I'm reversing the polarity and repelling. Rather, I'll push you back.
Yep. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Going back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm going to back off of it, let it zero out. Now here are the scalar wave. A scalar wave is me producing a wave of energy that goes straight out to every one of y'all that's receiving it, that's hearing it. The moment it hits you, it either turns right or left. It's a right angle or left angle, and I can control the angle that it hits and goes. So I'm going to shoot this wave at you right now, and I'm going to make it go right. See if it pulls you to the right.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it does.
You know, this is a lot more powerful than last time.
It is. It's a lot more
Yes.
powerful. I've the amount of amperage I'm able to produce that has nearly doubled in the last 2 years. So I'm nearly 2 million microamps now.
Oh, wow.
God.
Okay, now I'm going to pull you back to your right there.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. You can feel that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to back it off. That was just a quick little demonstration. That gives you a chance to cause your body's electrical systems to start functioning. And so when I do my work on clients, on people, the main thing is for me to shake you around a little bit and get your body's electrical systems to functioning right. Once they function right, and then I charge your batteries up, you do the healing. You heal yourselves.
That is amazing. I'm serious. I mean, I know the last time, well, you've been on the show a couple times, but this time was supremely powerful. I mean, it was much stronger.
Definitely.
Yeah, you could feel that,
Now
right?
I'm in formal studies at the University of Virginia Neurology Department, the Division of Perceptual Studies and Integrative Medicines. I go up there every 8 to 10 weeks or so and do a couple of 3 days of brain mapping studies.
Oh,
I
my
go
goodness.
wire it in, wire my head up, and I wear a headband with 128 wires going into my head.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, they don't know how you're doing this, right? They don't have an explanation.
They've been brain mapping. I'm in the formal studies now. They have determined. Everybody else has been in through the EEG studies. You know how you've heard how everybody's operating in alpha state of mind?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They got freaked out with me because, see, I've been playing with this energy since I was a little bitty kid, so my brain wired up differently than all the other kids that got it beat out of them.
Yeah.
So now they wouldn't tell me until after a year and a half what they were finding, but they came out and went public with it. In my brain, all the time, my brain is operating from alpha to theta, and it's moving around constantly.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
in every state of conscious all the time. That's why I can command myself physically to send this energy out down through a lower state, and I'm sending it out into the quantum field. And as you feel, I can pull you off balance all over the planet.
Definitely.
I knock people down on the other side of the planets because my brain is functioning in all the states of consciousness when I do this.
Oh, my goodness. No wonder it's so
It's
powerful.
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I've got a question for you from the chat room before we go on. It's from Abnormal, who's asking, are these signals going out into space as well? The signals?
Oh, yeah. It goes clean across the galaxy. I tap energy in deep space also.
Well, we're going to find out more about that. But for now, what I want to ask you to do is, for the audience members who haven't met you before and haven't heard about you, can you tell us more about how this got started? Because like you said, you've been doing this since you're a little bitty kid. How did it get
Yeah.
started?
Well, I'm from that town they filmed the movie Deliverance in, up in northeast Georgia, real rural country little town.
Yeah,
And
that's Clayton, right?
Yeah, Clayton, Georgia. And I grew up there and everything. But my grandmother and grandparents owned the photography studio there. And but Grandma had these same abilities, except she read scripture every time she did it. She didn't do this long range stuff like I'm doing and things like that. People would come to the studio that got burnt or cut, or babies with thrash and stuff, and she would do her little bit of energy, and the people's problems would go away. And when I would be in the studio in the lab printing pictures, and people would go in the back of the studio for her to do her stuff, I could feel the tingly electricity inside the lab going through me and stuff. And so it just kept rubbing off on me as I grew up.
Now,
And
you
so,
had
but
quite a sense of humor too when you were a little kid, and you could do things in church with this.
yes.
What
Oh
did-
yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. The part right there where you felt me control you and pull you up on your toes, then push you
Yes.
back on your back. That's from changing the polarity fields in my higher brain functions. Now, if I'm in a group of people, I can just stand there as a group and cause my fields of electricity to change in my body, and everybody in the group will start either leaning toward me or away from me and stuff. Now, as a kid, when I was doing that and first learning about it, I was in the balcony of our church looking down at a couple hundred people downstairs, and I was just playing back and forth with it, following my intuition. And our preacher always started prayer at 11:30 and then had silent prayer. And one day there, my intuition said, when he started prayer, start pulling backwards on everybody. So I set up a DC negative field and started pulling backwards on everybody that was downstairs. And when he hit silent prayer and it got real quiet, my intuition said, let go. And to reverse the polarity and push as hard as you can. So I did. And when I did and squeezed on it real hard, a whole bunch of people farted downstairs. There's enough movement and change of pressure to cause the explosion of gas, I guess. And so my two buddies sitting there, I said, I do that. And I wasn't sure, but next Sunday we tried it again. Sure enough, I did it again. So from the time I was 7 till I was 14 years old, I practiced on seeing how many people I could cause to fart during silent sessions.
What fun, except for them. Probably not so much fun, but fun for you and your friends, huh?
It was,
That's funny.
I could get enough reaction out of it to know that I was doing stuff. I mean, we would sit up there and they would point at people downstairs, and I'd aim energy and make them scratch their ear or jump and look like somebody's touching them on the shoulder and things like that. But the farting thing was the most fun I ever had. And the scientists that study me today say that because I was so mischievous and knowingly changing these electrical fields in my body, that it caused my brain to wire up totally different from all the other kids that got all this beat out of them. I mean, the only difference between me and all the rest of you is they didn't beat this out of me. They beat these abilities out of all of y'all.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's true. You know, we've all been told not to go down that road one way or another. Of course, that
Correct.
didn't stop us, PK and
It
I,
stopped
but
me.
Oh,
it didn't stop you. But yeah, there's a lot of people who just took that other turn and can only deal with what they think is real. But this to us is normal. I mean, what you're doing is amazing, but it's expected because of who you are, where this came from. It obviously came from a lineage that you share in your family.
Yes.
And so you're very powerful in what you do, and you're very good-hearted about what you do, because you've been able to use this to help a lot of people that have had a wide range of illnesses, right?
And see, I'm not treating anything. I'm not curing anything. I'm not diagnosing anything. All I do when I come up on someone's having problems is I tune up your electrical systems. I blow the soot because I can run this energy up so high, I can reverse the flow of energy through your nervous system, through your neural network. It kind of like makes them expand and blows the crud and the crust off of them. And then I can run the energy up really high and charge your batteries up. I treat people and everything like we're robots, kind of, and you got a battery system. So I charge your batteries up, and then your built-in healing mechanisms go to work and heal your problems. Now, when I give it all this energy, your healing mechanisms may function up to 1,000 times faster than normal, and you'll think that I'm healing you or making you blah blah, because you'll get hot, sweaty, tingly, and your pain will go away. But it's not me; it's your system's doing the healing, and they're just running super fast because I'm pouring, this high energy to them. Now, the people I'm working with kids now with DIPG brain tumors, and when I run this energy through there, it's causing the tumors to shrink. I'm also working now with people with neuropathy and strokes and stuff. I get a hold of people with neuropathy in their feet, have them leave their shoes on, get my hands down there near them, and 4 minutes later, they don't have neuropathy anymore.
That is
Goes
so
totally
fabulous.
away. It's knocking it out in like 4 to 5 minutes in hands or feet of people. So the energy that I'm working with now, because I've gotten so much better with working with all these scientists at these different universities and research projects I've been on, I've got now to where it's just like super repairs anything in the nervous system. Working with a lot of these stroke patients, and they'll come to me and can't move their left arms or right arms and be all locked up, and 5 minutes later, I got them kind of moving, wiggling their fingers, and all kinds of stuff.
That's great.
Fabulous.
That's so great. Now, what do people do? Do they call you or contact you through your website, and then if you're in the area, you're able to visit them personally?
Correct. If I'm in their areas, then I'll set up, I travel around the country to preset sites, and I'm all the time looking for new places to go give lectures and then sessions. I also do over the phone sessions where people contact me, and then I do it, for about $40, $50 for 15 minutes. As a donation through my website, and you go there, make a donation with your phone number, and I'll get to you just as quick as I can, and I do it through the phone. That's good for just, pains and aches and basic things. I have to get to you in person on a few things, but I have been able to do the neuropathy and things like that over the phone, and a few people, not everybody, but I'm getting stronger and stronger, even over the phone sessions.
Yeah, that is for sure. You really are. And you can also treat animals with this.
True. Exactly. I get a lot of people calling me and having me work on their dogs or cats through them.
Do you have a list of places you're going to be visiting so people would be able to be on the lookout for you when you come?
I'm working on putting that together on my website. I'm trying to get all that figured out. Right now, I'm kind of focusing on Georgia and Florida. And then my normal spots up the East Coast and all. Mm-hmm. But I also want to do a trip out west. I've got a lot of requests to come out to Sedona and
come to Tucson.
Yeah,
that's right.
All them places, Houston and all that. So I'm trying to get a trip. But also, I'm in the process. I've had the chance now. While I was in Florida, I got hooked up for a short time with a place called Hippocrates and learned how all that worked. And it's kind of like, it's like the food side of the equation of healthiness, and I'm the energy side of the equation. So I'm going to I found my dad's girlfriend's up there in my hometown's got a whole bunch of land. So I'm going to be in the process I've been in the process already of negotiating with her on 133 acres that is surrounded by Forest Service land that I want to build a energetic health and healing resort at. Kind of like Hippocrates, but it'd be based more on energy medicine. Mm-hmm. I've got 12 acres for organic gardening, so I can have farm to table with vegan and Ayurvedic chefs there for farm to table. And then one of my biggest things I'm working on is setting up a children's teaching center. I want to get this started. I'm already teaching it to children around the country when I do lectures, and then I see them again every few months or 6 months or so when I go back through, and they're getting better and better. But I want to do it on a much larger scale.
That
means I can do it through the internet also.
Yes. Now, we're going to have to take a very short break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk all about all kinds of wild things, your UFO experience, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot to discuss with you, Edd, and we're going to have you do another treatment for our audience. So you are listening to Supernatural Girls Radio, everybody. Stay tuned. We will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host, PK, and our very amazing guest who we absolutely love, Edd Edwards, is with us tonight. And so, Edd, here's another question for you from the chat room. This is from John. John wants to know, does any of the energy you send out ever create a shock or feedback to you, like it's bouncing back?
Yes, but not quite a shock. Kind of when I work one-on-one is when I can notice it more. When I work on a big group, I'm just getting mixed signals back in. But yeah, I get a kind of an empathic type feeling from people. I can get just a sense. I don't diagnose or treat nothing with it, but I do get a sensation back from it.
Now, what was your most amazing experience when you were working with somebody? And you got like a big result. Can you tell us about somebody that you worked on that you got them all lit up and you saw a big change in their health?
Well, take them out of the hospice house and put them back out on the street.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Quite a few like that. I mean, I've got people that had lung cancers and stuff and different problems where they were given like 3 weeks or a month to live, and I get a hold of them. It's just like a problem just got put on hold. And that was 10, 12 years ago with different ones. Oh, and then like the children, the different kids and stuff that I've got to work with, those brain tumors are shrinking in them. They don't just instantly go away, but slowly over time they're shrinking, and the kids that would have died possibly are living on now. And then like these neuropathy patients, clients and stuff, people that have gone to doctors with all kind of things, tried everything in the world, not finding any relief from it, and I get a hold of them 4 or 5 minutes later, and the neuropathy's gone.
That's terrific.
Oh, Lord, that's fabulous.
Stroke patients, they're all paralyzed, and I don't get everybody right off the bat, but 2 or 3 sessions with me, and I start loosening them right up. And it's their body's doing it.
Do you find that children are a little easier to work with? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And that's why I want to do the Children's Teaching Center, is to get this started in them. I've got like one of the little persons that I'm working on that has a brain tumor that's about 3.5, 4 years old, is already creating their own energy ball and playing with it.
Oh, my goodness.
And able to generate it enough to where family members and strangers can feel it.
Isn't that great?
Incredible.
Yes.
Then I've got an 8-year-old boy that had a little touch of something that I was able to get his attention, and in about 30 minutes time teach him how to generate and send the signals where he could run them backwards through my feet and wiggle my fingers.
That's so I love it.
I've got a film crew working on a documentary on me and stuff, so I'm gonna get this 8-year-old boy to play me there.
That should be fabulous.
I believe he'll be perfect for making them fart in church there.
Fun for him.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Now, obviously, you've done this your whole life, and you're becoming more powerful by the day. But you did have, and I want to get to this because we started talking about this last time, but we didn't go into any depth. You did have a UFO experience where you saw some strange little beings. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I was about 6 years old. And we were at a little country restaurant next to a country car lot, and that was about all there was right in that little section of the road. And after I finished eating, I wanted to go outside and play, and my dad said I could because they wanted to talk to their friends in there. It's just a little country place up there. And I went outside, and I seen this kind of an orangish glow, kind of like I thought it was a fire, kind of like something burning over behind this building in this car lot. And I went over that way and stuff, and here were these four funny-looking guys there.
Funny-looking guys. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, their eyes kind of strange. Now, you saw the movie Deliverance, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the kid that was playing the dueling banjos sitting on the porch there, Billy?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I went to school with him, and I already knew him by that point of age and time in preschool, kindergarten. And I already knew Billy, and Billy looked kind of funny like that. So I kind of figured these might be some of his type of family or so.
Oh, okay. So you didn't associate it with anything else. You just thought this is Billy's weird-looking family.
I'm from a that was a strong Bible Belt country little town. The idea, even knowledge of UFOs or anything like that was never even heard of at this point in time in my life or with anybody in the country like that. You know, the strongest we ever knew anything about was called foxfire. And that was that stuff that would glow in the woods when you'd kick old stump over.
And that was it.
That was it.
So you saw these strange looking
yeah, and then they did their hands around me. I mean, I walked up to them, but they didn't talk, but yet I could hear them in my head, kind of. And they just kind of did their hands around me, kind of like now how I do today when I work on people. And I could feel stuff. And then my mom and them, I heard them hollering for me to come on. And they just kind of looked, and it was like we knew we was leaving. And I went and got in the car with my mom and them, Dad, and we were driving back off to town, and all of a sudden my dad hit the brakes, and there was this orange fireball in the sky came flying up over our car and out across the western sky. And he said he thought it was on top of the car, but then looked like it was back up in space, you know.
Wow.
And so, I mean, that was my experience. That's the only experience I've had with anything. And like I tell people nowadays, if one of them ever flies over me, I'll lock this energy a hold of them, see if I can't get them to land, then we'll examine them.
I like that idea, Ed. I think that would be great.
But
Ed,
ever since then, nothing's ever happened since then.
Huh.
You said your grandmother was also gifted. Did she ever see anything that would have resembled the orange fireballs or whatever? Did she ever speak of anything like that to you?
She never spoke of anything. She was very, very, very religious, Southern Baptist. And it was accepted for her to do this stuff in our rural community. And of course, she read the Bible was there, and she read scripture, 3 or 4 scripture verses before she ever did anything with anybody.
So it worked out for her because, like you said, it was all a part of the acceptance because she used religion along with her healing ability.
Exactly. And so she was accepted from it. But me, they kept telling me I was playing with the devil my whole life.
Uh-oh.
You know, I got locked in closets and different that. And the more they did me like that, the more I played with it. Guess what? It ain't the devil.
Who locked you in a closet?
The preacher did, and the passioner and deacons and stuff that would catch me doing things.
They didn't like you making them fart. That's what it was.
That was it. But they had they thought things were going on strange with me. They never could exactly put their finger on it. No.
Oh, that's too funny.
It was funny. Excellent bio-fart back.
Oh, that's great. Well, you know what? Humor is...
It helped me develop what I can do today. If I didn't have those experiences as a child, my brain would not have wired up to like it is now.
Yes.
What a gift for the rest of us now. That's for sure.
I know it. That's a wonderful gift to us. Now, what about again? You've talked about treating people with actually not treating people, but you're just giving them this electrical energy to help them heal themselves. Is it electromagnetic or is it just electrical?
It's electrical because I control the electrical fields within my body using my magnetic functions of my brain. I can change those frequencies and change the polarity of the pulses in those frequencies. And like I say, in all our examinations of me, we found that it's most efficient and most powerful when I try to slow the energy down and operate it at 1.618 hertz, as opposed to, you hear people saying, run high frequencies. That don't get it when you're talking human anatomy. You got to get this stuff down there at about 1.618 hertz for it to pulse, the bioelectric field pulse, biofield pulse.
And as we were talking off the air, it sounds like one of your specialties is the neurological system of the human body, that you seem to be able to affect that very easily.
Yes, the energy I produce just basically is that same energy that runs through a person's neural network. It's just I can crank it up hundreds of thousands of times higher for a few minutes. So when I run that kind of energy back into their systems, it kind of like blows the soot or the rust off the wiring system and makes everything operate and function and communicate much more freely.
Now, we were talking last time you were on the air about Alzheimer's, and you said that was a tough one. Are you still finding that to be true, or have you found a way to make a difference?
I'm still finding as part as energy work being true, but I am seeing more of the Israelis' research using cannabinoid oils and treating it, and boy, they're making some breakthroughs like crazy. There's one certain plant or so, hemp plant with CBD oils, that is having a phenomenal effect on Alzheimer's and dementia. And the research, I believe, is being done in Israel right now.
That's terrific. Now, I also read, and I don't know if you've heard about this, but I'll pass this on. There has been some research done in Australia with sound waves. So ultrasound waves is a certain frequency that they've been using. They've been able to reverse all of the plaque and bring people right back to normal by using the ultrasound wave to treat that, which is, again, very similar to what you're doing with the electrical energy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have some effect on it, but not near like I'm seeing as good as these oils and stuff.
Yeah, these oils are very powerful. That's, everybody out there should call Ezra. He's the expert in that on our website. Sure. Yeah, supernaturalgirls.com.
Someone told me, someone with a reputable source told me that they've made those oils Schedule 1 now, like marijuana.
Yeah, God, I was hearing the same thing. It used to be legal in all 50 states, but I heard they're trying to change it now to make it illegal. Doesn't that figure? I'm telling you what.
Well, of course.
It's so upsetting. Find something natural that works, and then they've got to find some way to take it away from us. It's just not fair.
They can't make anything out of it that way. If they keep it the other way, they're going to make a fortune. Somebody is.
Well, that's the idea, is they're trying to keep it so you can't make all these other wonderful products from it.
That is just a sin, a definite sin. Yes, not good.
Good old greed.
I know. Follow the money, really, if you want to know what's going on. Now, for you, Edd, it sounds like you've got some great plans to turn what you're doing into a healing center and a teaching center at the same time. But you've also had some experiences with affecting planetary energy, as I recall, that you were able to do things nobody's been able to do before. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I don't have any scientists to validate any of it right now. The projects I was on were that we were doing stuff there with the planetary stuff out there. We were doing was before 9/11 hit. When 9/11 hit, Homeland Security came in and shut down that whole project I was on.
Oh,
So
no.
they took all the data, all the records for 5 years of studies, the computers, and they told the scientists to shut it down. They said we were sending signals that they were detecting outside the boundaries of the United States. Of course, they didn't know it was me doing the signals. They thought we was using, or the scientific bunch was using a special system.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So they
Lord.
shut it down. They took all the computers and lab equipment from the main site, which they thought was causing those signals, and hush to that.
God.
And
Now,
the scientists I worked with told me to chill out, don't do nothing, and be quiet about it.
so that was
Good
the end of
grief.
that project.
As the end of it, now I don't have any scientists that could validate it, so it's just like my word against anybody's about any of that stuff.
No, I'd rather trust you than some of the others, that's for sure.
We believe
Yeah,
you,
but-
Ed.
But that's all I can say about it right now. I mean, it was just, we were really told because of national security to shut that projects down.
Now, what about, here's the text question that just came in for you. Somebody wants to know, have you ever started a fire with your energy?
Not a physical fire. I've heated a couple of rednecks up pretty good.
Yeah. Have you? Let's hear about that. What'd you do?
I mean, they got a little out of hand with me, and I turned the heat up in them.
So what did they do?
Well, they're just being redneck, arrogant, and and when they start smarting off to me, I'm the wrong one to smart off to.
You sure are. So you heated them up, and what did they do? Did they have to go lie down? I mean, what happened?
Yeah, they started sweating so bad they had to back away from me.
Now we know where the term redneck came from.
Yeah, and then they had to go for a swim. I mean, what did they do?
I don't know. They left the little bar we was in.
Mm-hmm. And that was the end of it, huh?
I was sitting there talking to somebody, and they came up, kept trying to poke their end on it and wanted to kind of like butt in. And I didn't want them butting in. So I just went ahead and turned the juice on up and made them get kind of real bad warm.
That's great. That's great. Now,
Or
have
if, like I learned how to do the bullies when I was in 3rd grade, I can increase an electric field around my body that will cause, if you're being mean and want to try to attack me, it'll cause your bladders to release.
oh my God! So they peed themselves.
Yeah. I used to do that in the 3rd grade. If I was starting to get beat up and they was going to beat me up, I'd turn that energy on, and the bullies would start peeing on themselves. They quit fighting then.
I bet they did. How embarrassing for them, huh? They deserved it, though.
Couldn't happen to nicer kids, huh?
That's right. Those nasty
Exactly.
bullies.
Yeah.
Gosh. Now, what about in school? I mean, we talked about church and how. Did you do anything in school other than protect
Well,
yourself from the bullies?
To protect myself from the bullies, and I messed with the teacher a little bit in there. Make it hard for her to stand up while trying to write on the chalkboard. And, then once I learned how to make the bullies pee on themselves, then I could use a lesser version of that energy that would cause you to have to need to go to the bathroom real bad, but not actually cut loose. And that worked to send the teacher toward the bathroom during test periods.
Oh, good.
So
Oh, my goodness. Love it.
did
Love
little
it.
things like that. Was about it. But
Now, with your brain being wired differently, you're saying that you operate out of alpha and theta and delta?
my brain, my brain is, and it moves around in there. It's constantly moving. It's operating it from alpha to theta at the same time, all the time. So every level of consciousness, from bright, wide awake to deep asleep and everything, is operating in my brain all at the same time. And I'm communicating and holding like a conversation that is a combination of all those levels at the same time, sewed together.
Okay. Now, do you ever have any trouble sleeping?
No.
Well, that's good. Because with all of that
I work and do what I got to do until I can't stay up no longer, and I go straight to bed then, and bam, I'm gone.
That's fabulous.
What a delight that would be.
I know. Well, because I've known people who've been talented in energetic healing, and sometimes they can't shut it off at night. And so they feel like they're
Why
wired up.
shut it?
all
Why
night long.
shut it off? I go lay my body down and park it, and then I go traveling across the galaxy on the energy. Astral
wow.
travel.
You do.
I never, ever turn my energy off. It's on 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, my whole life. I've never shut it down.
My goodness. Do you make house calls at night?
Yeah, do you go visit your patients or your clients?
Yeah, I fly around. I've had a few tell me they've seen me in their dreams.
I bet.
Uh-huh.
I bet. Gosh. So,
But,
it's just such a wonderful gift that you have. And it's so unusual, quite honestly, and remarkable. Now, do you ever see people that have passed? So do you ever see the other people side?
I have helped a few people pass on and can feel it right after they're leaving. It's kind of like them saying thank you and bye for about a day.
Mm-hmm.
But then after a day or two or three, their energy's gone.
And what about any of the demonic or dark or parasitic energies, whatever you want to call them? Do you ever see those, or do they ever come around?
If they ever do, I'll tell them, come on up, party. I mean, it's just, I ain't going to be racist with them. Hell, if they want to come on out here, I'll have a good time with them.
But it doesn't
I'll send
sound
them
like...
send them right on back down the road, just like the rednecks.
So it's nice. You don't have any fear, really, of any of this stuff.
None of that stuff bothers me. I ain't never had any problem out of any of that. I mean, if it ever comes around, I can get rid.
That's great. That's great. So you don't have any concerns about that at all.
None
Wonderful.
at all. None
Wonderful.
at all. It don't bother me. That's just people's pre ideas. They've listened to too much Hollywood.
No, well, I would agree with you. I think that there's a lot that is shown through the media that is shocking and is meant to scare us. And it works. It does.
Oh, it
And
has.
you base your ideas thinking that's the way it really is, and it's not.
So what's the truth about those energies?
Hollywood makes a
They're
lot
just
of money.
made up?
Yeah, makes a
they
lot
sure
of money.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Go ahead.
Halloween's a big investment.
Yeah. Well, what about angelic beings? Do you ever encounter them?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I sense stuff, but I just know I never have seen any beings, no ghosts, no anything. I can feel stuff in the energy, and I feel like there's something like the Akashic records where I have knowledges that I don't know how I'm getting them, things like that. But nothing actually coming up, tapping me on my shoulder, saying, "Hey, I'm here." If they do, I'm gonna ask them where the ship is. Get us off this rock.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Not kidding. Gosh. Yeah, there's a lot to be, there's a lot of challenges here on Earth, especially right now. Now, with your electrical energy and your ability to sense things, we've heard a lot about how time has sped up, how we are now in a cycle where things are moving very fast. Now, it certainly feels that way. Is that happens to you too?
Well, my grandpa told me that when I was a little bitty kid, and I kept asking why it took so long to get anywhere. He said, just where you grow up, time speeds up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was been speeding up for many, many long times. So it's the actual time's not speeding up. As we ourselves grow older, things are happening faster.
Well,
And
it feels
seems
that
like
way.
it is. It feels that way to me too, big time.
But I have to tell you, I have young people telling me this. I mean,
Mhm.
people who are, 16, 17, 18 are saying, God, it feels like things are moving too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm hearing it not just from old people like all of us, but from the youngsters. They're saying that they're feeling overwhelmed by how quickly things are moving. So I don't know. I mean, when you sense the electrical energy, do you sense a change in the electrical energy that maybe
Well, it's increasing. It's increasing, and
Increasing.
The scientists know it from all their tests on me. It's even mine, personal energy is increasing. But remember, time is not how we perceive it. The quantum universe maintains the time.
We're going to have to talk more about this, Ed. We're going to take another short commercial break. In the meantime, everybody go to our Facebook page, give us a like, give us a follow, and check in with Ezra on the highend.org about that CBD oil, because as Ed just told everybody, it's working miracles, especially for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. So make sure you get your hands on some of Ezra's before they make it illegal. So give him a call, see what he's got available. And I can tell you, I have some of his hemp-based CBD oil, and it is extremely pure. It's excellent. So give Ezra a call. It'll be worth your time. And you are listening, everybody, to Supernatural Girls Radio. We are speaking with our guest, Edd Edwards, tonight, an amazing man, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I'm here with my co-host, PK, and our amazing guest tonight, Edd Edwards. Now, Ed, we were talking when we were off the air about how you've surprised your researchers, and you said every time you go into the lab, you surprise them. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I just, every time I get in the chamber, I'm always trying to boost the energy up as much more, like 3 or 4 times more than I did the previous times in there. Like the one at the Ryan Research Center, the Bioenergy Biophoto Lab, I've got that thing about blowed apart in there. I'm so consistent with it that now we've done so many studies in there that we're ready to move on. We're looking at building now more equipment to study the PK and micro PK effects of this energy coming out of our brains, and then how to develop it. I've stumbled onto some homemade systems that I can have an effect on, like a potometer, like a variable speed on a blower that's on my wood heater. I can stand back and have it running at about half throttle, stand back about 4 feet away from it, start playing with energy and change the speed up and down by maybe a couple hundred RPMs of the fan. So we're going to look at building some systems where we generate electric fields in the lab up there at the Ryan Center, where I can alter those states of fields with this energy, with receptors.
Now, what about autism? Because they say, the researchers are saying, if things continue the way they're going, that in 25 years, 1 out of 2 children are going to be autistic.
Right now, we're seeing 1 out of 3 that live within 60 miles of wood-fired power plants being autistic.
Yikes. Now, have you found a way to, that your energy works to heal that?
Not necessary to heal it, but to help them have more cognitive responses and stuff. If you look on my YouTube page there and go down there to the one where I'm teaching the 8-year-old boy the energy, he had a touch of autism. And it's amazing how the energy got through in there and it started working and helped him to express himself.
That's fabulous. Because again,
same with the kids. So I'm interacting right now. I can't say who with, but with some people that are running a very special autistic program for kids. So I'm going to be hooking in with them.
Gosh, well, good luck with that. I hope you can make a difference. I know that there's been a lot of controversy out there about vaccines causing autism. Now, when you treat people, I mean, we've all had vaccines, and I know the energy just does what it does. But have you encountered anything that, is basically where vaccines have caused damage and your energy can help correct it?
Well, I can't prove that the vaccines would have caused any damages. I don't have any labs or doctor setups that can validate anything like that. I can help with anything that is in the neural network of the body. So it seems that when I run this energy right through people, right, that it causes the neural systems to correct themselves, to repair themselves. And, like with a neuropathy, it's just to short out with the nervous system. And when I run the energy clean through from the very end back to the brain and stuff, it repairs all the neural network through there in just a few seconds.
So some of the diseases that I would think would respond very well to this electrical energy would be things like MS. Parkinson's.
Yes. Parkinson's, I'm having a great success with. I can calm Parkinson's people out in just 2 or 3 minutes with it.
Wow.
And I've had one doctor I've worked with up in Michigan had what they called uncontrollable limb movements. That's where he just slinging his arms all over the place and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was working giving a lecture in a church, and he came in the back, had heard about me. He was in the back of the church. He was just slinging them arms everywhere and moving around and jerking and this and that. And after I did a few sessions on some other people, I told him to come on up in the front, and he sat there with me, kind of jerking all around. And once I locked on to him, about 2 minutes later, I calmed him right on out.
That's so wonderful. Now, here's a question that I'm getting on a text from people. Does it last? So when you treat somebody like that, does that treatment hold, or do they have to come back for more treatments to have it hold?
If they have extreme Parkinson's and things like that, I have to hit them with a little booster ever so often. But those boosters seem to get further and further apart.
Okay.
For people. And that seems to hold with almost anything severe in people. If I've got something that's really severe, I've got to work with them every 3 or 4 days to a couple weeks. And then after I do it like that for a little while, it starts getting further and further apart. Their systems take over and start repairing and start correcting the problems. So they kind of get better and better on their own like that.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
When you work with someone like that, Ed, if it's more than one person can you work with at the same time going with the same problem? Is it easy? Can you handle working with a group like that? I know like you worked with us in the beginning.
Well, I do the same thing to everybody. And remember, I'm not treating any certain problem or anything. Right. I'm doing the same thing to everybody across the board. I'm generating up the real strong field of energy, locking it into your nervous systems through the quantum universe, the quantum field, and everybody that's aware of me gets locked in, and I'm tweaking out your operating systems of your body. So no matter what's wrong with you, then your body starts addressing those problems.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to be clear on, because I know I'm going to be asked about that again from others. Mm-hmm. It's just so fantastic when you put things together that we know that there's such a wonderful resource as you to be available for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to start another one of our last sessions here, while we talk, I can still demonstrate.
Great.
Yeah. And before you do that, I just want everybody again to know how to get a hold of you, that they can go to your website, which is Edd, it's spelled EDD, Edwards.com. And there they can book sessions with you. They can reach out to you. They can bring you to their location for groups. Again, that's Edd, EDD, Edwards.com. And also, I've happened to turn on Facebook, and sometimes you're doing live free sessions, which is wonderful.
Yeah, Facebook has that live stream.
Yes.
And I'll jump on there just for the fun of it and do some live free sessions just to now. Remember, when I do them on there, I'm just sending a frequency out across the wide field. So it's not like a personal one-on-one where I can lock on and just really tune you up. You're just getting a booster type spread of energy, which is not specifically designed for individual, but yet it has a easing effect. I mean, I'll have replies. I have replies back from people that were hurting, saying how it eased them off and everything. If they get known in touch with me, if they go to my website, make a donation, and send me their phone number, and I lock onto them one-on-one, I'll straighten it right on out for them real quick, most of their problems.
That is so terrific. Gosh. Well, I know you mentioned you're going to do another session with all of us. So is this a good time for that?
is a good time for that.
All righty.
Everybody in the audience, go ahead and stand up. Pull your feet closer together. Now, this time, since we've done this already once and then talked about it, it should be a lot stronger. So keep your eyes open. The gravity waves where I'm going to pull and push you and stuff will be stronger. Here we go.
Yeah, I can feel the tingling already, PK. How about you?
It works fabulously.
Mhm.
Wow, that is super tingling now.
Yeah, it'll make your whole body just electrify now.
Yeah. Gosh.
And here, I'll do something here that'll defy gravity a little. This will make a lot of you feel like you're floating. So I'm going to start going into you, and I'm going to pull straight up on you.
Woo. That is intense. Oh, my God. You can
Feel that?
Right up my spine. Yep.
Now, I do this effect with people with scoliosis, and you can sit right there and watch their back straighten up when I do this.
Ooh, I need that.
Feel that? I'll just lift straight up on you.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Now,
This is great. I feel like I just grew 2 inches.
yeah, a lot of people do, and we filmed a lot of people. They'll come up about an inch. A lot of, especially if they're real older and sluggish, leaning down and stuff. You can just straighten them right up.
Gosh, this is a great treatment for people that have osteoporosis, huh?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. I represent that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need that, PK.
And so I just can wobble you all around, and I'm not treating anything in your body. I'm just, by doing these different things, I'm causing your energies to change directions and blow the soot out of your operating systems, and then your body does its own healing real fast. You know, most people, because they got what I'm doing beat out of them, that was your major systems, healing systems that's been turned off in you. So they've been riding asleep your whole life. That's why you've got your problems you got now. And when I get a hold of you, I just turn them systems on, crank them way up, and put enough power in you to make them run about 1,000 times faster than normal for a few minutes. And it makes everything kind of fix itself. And then if you'll eat right and keep playing with the energy and be aware of it every day, you'll keep it going. Like I say, I'm going to be teaching classes here through my website and stuff. So tell everybody to join as members to my eddedwards.com. I've got a page there for membership, free membership. It's to the Katua Energy Health and Healing Center. So if you'll find that link in there for members and join that, then as I do things, I'll send a newsletter out and stuff. And I'm going to have online videos and classes and all kinds of things in there once I get a little bit more help with all this.
It sounds fabulous, Ed. My goodness gracious.
Yes. Now, we just got a message here from Ramona. She said, hi, did anybody else feel better after his demo? My head feels storage, she said, but my vertigo is gone.
Yeah, when I do the left,
around a little.
yeah, when I do the left right with people, I can knock vertigo clean out of you.
Wow. Well, you did for Ramona, and we'll wait to see who else. I can tell you that, I mean, this, again, I'm going to say it again. This time, Ed, you are 10,000 times more powerful than the last time you were on our show. I mean, it was palpable before what you were doing, but it's so much stronger this time. What about you, PK? What are you feeling?
Most definitely. And the one thing I've noticed, look at the difference in my voice.
Oh, my God, that's right. Your throat isn't so craggly.
It's sore, but it's not all breaking up like it has been.
Yes.
It'll
See
get
that?
in there and clear it right out. It'll get into the crud. And I've had some really good results on people with COPD and lung problems, all kinds of stuff like that. Anything physical, anything that the nervous system has anything to do with. And, of course, it has everything to do with everything that's going on in your body.
Well, it does. And I really like what you say, Ed, about how you turn our own healing ability back on. Because in our culture, especially here in the United States, we've learned that our health is owned by the AMA and Big Pharma. So it's almost like we don't get to own and take responsibility for our own health anymore. It's owned by these basically
pretty
these
much.
two big corporations. But what you're giving to people is the gift of knowing that it's not owned by anybody, but it's owned by you. You can take responsibility. You can light yourself up with Ed's help, and you can turn on your own healing ability, because your own healing ability is normal, right? Having it turned off,
Yeah, it
isn't.
should be on. It should be on and running.
Right. It should be off and running, and or on and running. And for so many people, it isn't. And like you said, we get into all of these problems. Now, I think we do have some of the best emergency medicine available to us here in the United States.
Yes, we do.
But when it comes to chronic illness, it's another story.
Mm-hmm.
Another story completely. I mean, that's where you get people that are just buying medications and then buying more medications to deal with the side effect of the original medications. And it becomes that you are the best customer of Big Pharma, and that's why they love you. So,
Isn't that the truth?
yeah. So having your own healing energy turned on, what a gift.
And my teachings and stuff that I do in energy sessions, as you've noticed, I put them in pre-recorded videos, and then that has the same nearly effects as it does in real time.
Well, yeah, that's
fabulous.
a good thing to mention for anybody who's listening to this later as a podcast. This is still going to have its effect.
Yeah, it's going to have effects over and over and over again. I get people that I do little videos for, and they'll go watch them over and over and over, get the same effects every time. And then they'll play them for their friends, and their friends will get knocked all around.
Now, we have a question here from Sky33 who's asking, can Edd help with the endocrine system? So hormonal balance, I would imagine.
Once you get your body's electrical system in tune, it kind of balances out all that stuff.
Great. Yeah, because so many people, again, because our environment has become so toxic.
Yeah. Your systems are shut down. It's why you're having those problems. If once you get your operating system of your own body's electrical system working at maximum peak efficiency, then it balances everything in your body.
Yeah, and that's what we've lost. Is that ability. But you have it.
You've had it beat out of you. I slept through the cracks.
Yeah. You sure did. You lucky man, you. Gosh.
But if I can get this children's teaching center set up, then we'll get this back where it needs to be.
Well, yeah, and again, what better place to start than with the children? Now, here is a question from D.H. Smith who's asking, does Edd do anything with the reproductive system, just managing to tune in?
I've had a few people that were having problems having kids, and I've done my energy, and several of them have reported back with twins and a few other things.
Oh,
wow.
Boy. Well, I recognize D.H. Smith because I remember he was asking in the past about this, right, PK?
But it's not remember, I'm tuning your systems up where everything's running. So if you've got everything else balanced out right, you're eating right and everything's right, you should do what you're supposed to be built to do.
Exactly. Well, DH, I think you should give Ed a call and hook up with him, see what he can do for you. Because again, I love this because like what you're saying is so true. You're not doing any healing. You're just passing on electrical energy that our bodies understand. We understand that language. It's just that the switch has been turned off. So if you turn that switch on, connecting up with that energy that we were born to have, then we should be able to heal ourselves over and over again. It shouldn't even be just a one-time thing, right?
Oh, yeah, it's not. And every time I do my sessions, I always teach people how to keep it going. There's just some basic, simple little things you can do, real simple, that just kids can do. And once you keep it going, then, like I say, I'll do things on you. If you keep it going, you don't need to come back to see me anymore.
Right, because then your switch is on and you're recycling that electrical energy all on your own.
That's it. And then it's just those that don't do it, they'll come back and get a booster from me every now and then.
Now, do you find that you heal pretty quickly then? If something happens, God forbid, you have a small accident or you get a cold, you heal?
I've had some big accidents and they've healed real fast.
Really? Like what?
Fell off of a mountain and paralyzed myself. Couldn't get out of a hole. I had to lay there about 2 hours, and it started coming all back together.
grief.
Wow. Oh,
I was
gosh.
built a rail car system, and some fool left some plywood up on top, and I stepped on it, and me and 3 sheets of plywood hit the track sliding down the side of the mountain. I tumbled and got off of it, and a 3rd sheet of plywood T-boned me in the back. And
Oh my God.
I was laying there, couldn't feel nothing from the middle of my back down. I couldn't move. I didn't have no cell phone range, and I was the only person on the job. So I laid there for about 2 hours, played with energy, run energy, got the pain to go away. Then about 2 hours later, started feeling my toes, started feeling everything, started crawling, got up out of there.
Good grief.
Gosh.
And then,
So did somebody finally find you? Or did
I
you?
got up to my car and drove out of there.
Oh my
Oh, dear Lord.
I was way back out in the woods, like out in the country.
Whoa. Well, thank God you were able to do that for
Yeah.
yourself.
And then I
That's-
cut the end
For
of
us as well.
Yeah.
I cut the end of my thumb off with a table saw,
Oh,
and instead of going to the emergency room to sew it up, which would have made a nub, I have a doctor friend that does special stuff, and we did some growth hormone on it and a special thing, and I run my energy, wrapped a plastic bag around it, kept the wound totally wet, and everything regrew in 27 days.
Oh my God.
You regrew your thumb?
Yeah, the end of it from half end on out. And the
Oh,
doctor
my
friend of mine is in a research lab called limb regeneration.
Oh, that was convenient.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some pretty interesting doctors I hang out with, but
I guess so.
I just let him, I worked with him, and I did pictures of it, and after about 27 days, the whole thing grew completely back, nerves and all, fingerprint, everything.
Oh my goodness. Thank God. Wow. Wow. But like you're saying, and I cannot stress this enough. This is what we're meant to do.
Yeah.
You're the lucky one, like you said.
That's-
You slipped through the
You've got
crack.
a brain up there on your head that'll do all kinds of things. Turn it on and do them.
Oh,
And I
that's
love
the key,
that.
turning it on.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
Like I say, it was turned on when you were born. It was running when you was 2, 3, 4, and 5 years old. Then they started beating it out of you. Started telling you weren't doing nothing, making you imagining things. Or like me, is playing with the devil. You're playing with the devil.
Yeah, but I've never learned how to make anybody fart yet.
Yeah.
Well, I accidentally learned how, and that was great bio fart back.
Well, again, we need to learn this. So
Yeah.
we really support your efforts, Ed, in building your new community. It's absolutely a wonderful, wonderful ideal. And can people donate to your cause?
They can, but I'm working on getting a 501(c) so that I can make it official. But they can make little donations right now to help me on my webpage. But I like to work for what I do. But I'm like I say, when I get the 501(c), that'll help to justify the Children's Teaching Center and all these other things I want to do.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. Absolutely
Yes.
wonderful, Ed.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I'm
I'm,
for us.
excited for all of us that
Mhm.
hopefully will get to participate in this with you. And I do encourage people to reach out to you for their own personal situation, whatever it may be, because we all deserve to have our switches turned back on and to be able to heal ourselves from anything, and even mental issues, like you said. You were talking in our last show about depression and things like that. A lot of people are suffering from that today, but again, the electrical energy can affect that as well, right?
It can, yeah. And once you get people back happy and stuff and feeling good, that plays a big part on mental depression also.
True.
Well, and
Very true.
plays a big part in physical health. So
Yes.
once you start to have, as you say, happy thoughts, and you're getting out of a depressive hole, then your physical body starts.
Yeah, when I teach you how you can go to a restaurant and you can make the waiter fart and everything, you'll laugh your butt off.
I'm going to sign up
Your
for that
depression
class.
will go away.
That's right. I'm signing up for the Make People Fart class.
Mhm.
And make the whole world smile, right?
Yeah. I
Well,
know.
that's the name of the game.
That's right.
Right, it is. And again, for people that want to contact Ed, his website is Edd, Edd, livingordganisms.com, and there you can contact Edd. You can make a donation. You can pay him a little bit of money for a wonderful gift of electrical energy so that your system gets turned on and you can begin to heal yourself from whatever the affliction is that you're suffering from. I mean, how simple could this be? Couldn't be easier.
And if you got children or so, have them there to take part in with it, and I'll activate them.
Oh,
There
that
you
sounds
go.
wonderful.
But I'm thinking I might better have a class for adults that want to have their children activated so they'll be able to reel them in when they get wild like I used to be.
That's right. That's right. You got to have that too. So it's got
Gotta
to
have
be
a little
both.
control there for them,
That's
but so I better teach the parents how to reel it in for them.
That's right. So everybody, thanks again, Edd, so much for the 2 sessions and for all your wonderful information tonight and just being with us. You're just so delightful. Again, to contact Edd, you want to go to Edd, Edwards.com. You can reach him there. You can support his work for his new community and also get your electrical energy flowing. And everybody, next week we'll be back with John D'Souza, former FBI agent, talking about extra dimensionals. You don't want to miss it. So until then, we will see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everybody.
I'll talk to you Sunday, Edd.